Most people think getting rich means showing it. Flashy cars, gold watches, luxury vacations. It's all a performance. But the truth? Real wealth hides. The richest people you'll ever meet don't want you to know they're rich. They live in quiet power, moving money like shadows while everyone else fights their attention. They understand one of Machiavelli's oldest secrets: visibility is vulnerability. The moment people know what you have, they'll find ways to take it from you. See, the world doesn't reward loud success. It rewards controlled silence. When you show your wealth, you create enemies. When you hide it, you create leverage. The powerful have always known this, from ancient rulers to modern billionaires. Their biggest strength isn't just having wealth, it's knowing how to disappear behind it. Think about it. How many people brag about their income online, post screenshots of their bank accounts, or show their new cars, and then lose it all a few years later? Why? Because they made themselves targets. They invited jealousy, pressure, and expectation. They wanted applause, not control. And Machiavelli would laugh at that, because in his world, the applause is a trap. He understood something timeless. If people know your moves, they can predict you. If they predict you, they can stop you. But if they can't see you, they can't defend against you. That's how the silent few build empires, while the loud many chase validation. Most people chase success publicly. They want others to see the progress, to say, "Look, he's doing well." But every second you spend showing, you're not building, you're performing. And performance feeds ego, not results. Ego is what the system uses to keep you broke, because when you're busy seeking attention, you're not seeking strategy. The ones who get rich quietly follow a different rule. Move in silence, strike in private, and reveal nothing until the war is already won. Ever notice how some people suddenly seem to come out of nowhere and have everything figured out? It's not luck. They've been building in secret. They were invisible until they were untouchable. By the time the world noticed, it was already too late to compete. Now, here's where most people go wrong. They think wealth is about money alone, but Machiavelli would disagree. Wealth isn't the money in your hand, it's the control behind it. A man with $1 million but no strategy is poor compared to the man who controls people with no one realizing it. That's why the powerful don't just earn, they influence, they manipulate, they position themselves where others depend on them. You've been told to work hard, to save, to invest, but that's surface-level advice. It's what keeps the herd moving in the same direction. Real wealth comes from knowing the hidden rules, when to act, what to hide, and who to make dependent on your success. Ask yourself this: why do some of the richest families on earth barely appear in the media? Why do they avoid attention? Because attention destroys security. Power only lasts when it's protected from exposure. The silent rich aren't scared, they're strategic. They let others fight for the spotlight while they buy the stage. The mistake most people make is confusing visibility with power. They think, if people know I'm successful, I'll gain respect. But the opposite happens. The moment you're seen, you're judged, envied, and targeted. The silent rich know better. They build power structures, businesses, networks, influence, without needing applause. They let others perform while they collect the profits backstage. Machiavelli would tell you to appear weak is to gain freedom, to appear ordinary is to gain safety, but to appear rich is to invite destruction. Think about the people you know who constantly talk about money. They show it off, talk about it, argue about it, but the ones who truly have it, they don't say a word, because once you understand the game, you don't need to prove anything. The system loves when you show off. Every post, every flex, every boast gives it data. Data to tax you, to monitor you, to control you. But when you operate in silence, you move outside their reach. That's why quiet wealth isn't just smart, it's a form of rebellion. Imagine this: while the average man shows off his new car, the quiet rich man buys the dealership. While one man posts pictures from a 5-star hotel, the quiet rich man buys shares in the company that owns it. The loud man spends to impress. The quiet man invests to dominate. Here's the question: which one do you want to be?
The one who wants people to see his success, or the one who controls the people chasing it? Every empire, every kingdom, every dynasty, they all followed this same principle. The real power is never where it's shown.
Eyes are looking. Kings had advisors, generals had spies, businessmen had shell companies. The public saw faces. The real power stayed hidden. Today, it's the same game, just played on screens instead of thrones. The public idolizes influencers, rappers, and CEOs, but the real wealth belongs to the ones financing them. You'll never see their faces, but you'll feel their influence in every transaction, every policy, every trend. That's the Machiavellian way, control through invisibility. Most people are trapped in the opposite mindset. They think being known equals being important, but being known makes you predictable, and predictability is weakness. The invisible man has freedom. He can move, change, build, and act, and no one sees it coming. So, what's the first hidden rule of wealth? Anonymity is armor. The moment you detach your identity from your income, you gain true freedom. Build assets quietly. Let the money move through systems, not your name. Become a ghost in plain sight. Ordinary on the surface, unstoppable underneath. Ask yourself, do you want to be admired or powerful? Because those two rarely exist together. Admiration feeds ego. Power feeds control. The quiet rich always choose control. They let others chase fame while they chase structure. That's the Machiavellian mindset. Don't crave visibility, crave influence. The king who flaunts his crown loses it faster than the king who hides his power behind advisors. The same applies to you. You don't need to show people you're winning. You need to make sure they can never tell when you are. If you like this type of video, subscribe to the channel. We post videos like this all the time. Now, here's the question you must face. If wealth loves silence, why are most people loud? Why do they announce every move, every success, every purchase? Because deep down, they're insecure. The loudest man in the room is the weakest. He needs the world to validate what he doesn't truly believe himself. The silent man doesn't need approval. He needs power. The world rewards those who understand that being unseen is a strategy, not a setback. When you build in silence, you remove noise. No one's watching, no one's judging. You're free to fail, learn, and adapt. That's how true power compounds in private. While others waste energy chasing likes, you'll be buying assets. While others seek validation, you'll be building freedom. That's the real game, the one the elite never talk about. Because if the masses understood it, the system would collapse. The second rule of hidden wealth: control what others depend on. That's where real influence starts, not in showing what you have, but in deciding what others need from you. And that is where the game starts to turn. The second rule of hidden wealth is the backbone of power itself. Control what others depend on. It sounds simple, but it's one of the most misunderstood truths about getting rich. Most people try to make money by serving everyone, by being available, affordable, and replaceable. But the Machiavellian rich understand something darker. Wealth doesn't flow to the one who works hardest. It flows to the one who controls necessity. If people need you, they'll never leave you. If they can replace you, they'll never respect you. Every empire, old or modern, is built on dependency. Kings controlled land because everyone needed food. Banks control currency because everyone needs money. Tech giants control platforms because everyone needs connection. The trick is the same. Make yourself the gatekeeper of something people can't live without. Then you don't need to chase money. It chases you.
Take the example of the Rothschilds, one of the oldest banking families in history. They didn't become rich by showing their wealth. They became rich by controlling the movement of money itself. They understood that the man who controls information, timing, and necessity never has to fight for wealth. Wealth comes to him automatically. While others fought for gold, they built systems that made others ask them for gold. That's the Machiavellian approach. Don't fight for the resource, control access to it. Because whoever controls the gate controls the game. Now, let's bring that into the modern world. Look at Apple. They don't sell you a phone, they sell you an ecosystem. Once you buy one product, you're trapped. Your photos, your messages, your apps, everything depends on them. It's not about creating the best product. It's about creating dependency, because dependency guarantees loyalty, and loyalty guarantees profit. The same rule applies on a smaller scale. Maybe you're a freelancer, an investor, or an entrepreneur. You can play this game too. Instead of offering
what everyone offers, create something people need but can't easily replace. That's how quiet empires are built. Not with noise, with necessity. Ask yourself in your field, what do people constantly depend on? Information, speed, trust. Solve that dependency and you own the system. But here's the trap most fall into. They think power means owning everything. No, power means controlling key points, the leverage points that everything else relies on. Machiavelli would tell you, never control the crowd directly. Control the few the crowd depends on. This is the third rule of hidden wealth. Leverage beats labor. You don't get rich by doing more. You get rich by controlling more with less effort. Let's be honest, most people are slaves to effort. They believe that working harder equals earning more. But hard work is the illusion the system sells to keep you obedient. The truth is, the world isn't fair. It's strategic. The rich don't get rich because they do more. They get rich because they position themselves where effort flows to them. Picture two people. One digs for gold, sweating day and night. The other sells the shovels. Who ends up richer? The shovel seller, because he controls the tools the workers depend on. That's leverage. The worker earns once, the leverager earns forever. The same applies in business, content, money, or influence. The system rewards those who think in terms of control, not effort. Want proof? Look at landlords. They don't work every day, yet money flows in monthly. Why? Because they own what others depend on, housing. Or look at software creators. They build once, get paid endlessly. That's leverage. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. He saw that kings who fought wars with swords were weak. The ones who financed wars, they were untouchable. While one spilled blood, the other gained power. You must shift your focus from effort to influence. Ask, how can I control what others need without them even realizing it? That's where true wealth hides, in quiet control. Ever notice how the richest people barely move, yet everything moves around them? That's not laziness, it's design. They understand that the highest form of intelligence is to build systems that work when you don't. They trade action for architecture. They don't build one income, they build systems that produce it endlessly. You can start small. Maybe it's digital assets, automation, or ownership in something people need daily. The key isn't to do more, it's to set up leverage that multiplies itself. There's a story about a man who built a water pipeline for his village while everyone else carried buckets from the river. At first, he was mocked. They said he was wasting time. But when his pipeline was finished, water flowed directly to his home, while everyone else still carried buckets. He sold access to his water, and the village depended on him. That's leverage. Quiet, invisible, permanent. Most people are still carrying buckets in life, working job after job, chasing dollar after dollar. The quiet rich, they build pipelines. So how do you build your own?
Start by asking, what system could I create that continues without me? What can I own that others must use? That's how you turn effort into leverage. And remember, leverage is not about greed, it's about control. Because in this world, whoever controls the flow of something valuable controls everything attached to it. But there's one more rule that ties this all together: substitution. It's the secret art of replacing what others depend on with something you control. It's not enough to join the system. You must become the system. Think of Amazon. They didn't just compete with bookstores, they replaced them. They didn't fight for shelf space. They built digital shelves that made everyone else irrelevant. That's substitution. Removing the old structure and replacing it with one that benefits you. In your own life, substitution means finding outdated systems and quietly replacing them with your own. Maybe it's a faster service, a better product, a new idea. You don't tell people to abandon the old. You make the new so efficient they do it naturally. That's how the quiet rich rise. They don't fight loudly for attention. They change the structure silently from within. Ask yourself, where can I introduce something better, faster, or cheaper that replaces what people already rely on? Once you do that, you don't need to compete. Competition disappears. It's not about being seen, it's about being unavoidable. Because when you become the default option, wealth has no choice but to find you. Every silent rich man plays these three games: control dependency, multiply leverage, and replace the old with the new. Once you do
That, you don't just earn, you own. While others fight to be known, you'll be the one quietly pulling strings behind the curtain, unseen, untouched, and unstoppable. But this leads to the next level, a rule that separates the powerful from the invincible: patience. Because without patience, even the smartest strategy collapses. Patience, the rule that most people hate, but the one every rich man lives by. It's not just about waiting, it's about strategic delay. Machiavelli once said that fortune is like a woman. She favors those who are bold, but only those who know when to act. The quiet rich understand this perfectly. They don't rush wealth, they design it. See, the poor man wants results now. He wants the quick win, the instant payout, the applause today. But the powerful think in decades, not days. They plant seeds that may not grow for years, yet when they bloom, they feed generations. That's patience, not passivity, but preparation. Think about it. The average person works 8 hours a day for 40 years hoping to retire comfortably. The Machiavellian thinker works differently. He'll spend 5 years building a system that earns for him forever. One sacrifices time for money, the other sacrifices time for freedom. There's a story about a man who wanted to become rich fast. He opened a shop, advertised everywhere, and tried to grow overnight. He burned out within months. Across the street, another man started slower. No ads, no noise. He spent months learning his customers, saving profits, reinvesting. Years later, his business controlled the entire district. Why? Because patience creates power, and power compounds quietly. The rich use patience as a weapon. They know most people can't wait, and that's their edge. When the crowd sells, they buy. When the crowd gives up, they double down. They don't chase emotion, they watch it, then act when the noise fades. That's how the silent rich move. They let impatience destroy their competition, because the impatient man exposes himself. He reveals his moves, his fears, and his limits. The patient man hides behind stillness. While others panic, he positions. In the Machiavellian game, patience isn't about doing nothing. It's about doing the right thing at the right time. It's delayed dominance. But patience alone isn't enough. To get rich without anyone knowing, you must combine patience with leverage. Patience gives you timing, leverage gives you power. When you merge both, you become unstoppable. Here's how it works. Imagine you plant a tree. You water it daily. That's patience. Years later, it grows fruit. That's leverage. You don't need to work harder. The system now works for you.
That's what the elite do. They plant systems that multiply over time. They don't chase money, they set traps for it. They create assets that quietly grow while they sleep. A rental property, a digital product, a stock portfolio. These are all patience machines powered by leverage. While the impatient crowd burns energy chasing quick wins, the patient elite builds compounding machines. Each year, those machines grow, multiply, and eventually create wealth that looks like magic. But it's not magic, it's math plus time. And here's the part most people miss. Patience doesn't just protect your money, it protects your mind. When you stop chasing instant rewards, you start thinking clearly. You stop reacting and start calculating. You begin to see the moves others don't. That's when you graduate from money-making to power building. But there's another weapon in this arsenal, something the Machiavellian rich use masterfully: substitution. The art of replacing weakness with power, chaos with control, emotion with calculation. Every time you feel impatient, substitute emotion with analysis. Every time you feel insecure, substitute comparison with focus. Every time you feel desperate, substitute chasing with building. That's how the quiet rich win, by replacing reaction with reason. Look at Warren Buffett. People see him as patient, but the real secret isn't just waiting, it's strategic substitution. He replaces noise with numbers, rumors with research, and greed with discipline. That's why he doesn't just make money, he keeps it. Machiavelli would call this mental control, because if you can't rule your emotions, you'll never rule your empire. The world rewards those who can stay calm when others lose their minds. But let's be honest, patience and leverage mean nothing without position. You can't control the game if you're in the wrong place. The rich know how to position themselves where opportunity flows naturally. They don't chase trends, they position before trends start. That's another form of substitution.
Movement with Machiavellian placement. Instead of running in circles trying to keep up, they plant themselves where the future will arrive. And here's how you can use that. Study where attention, money, or technology is going, not where it is. The crowd reacts to what's trending today. The rich prepare for what will trend tomorrow. When the average man finally discovers an opportunity, the quiet rich have already built systems around it. They're not competing, they're collecting. This is what Machiavelli meant by winning before the war. You don't fight battles loudly. You win them before they start, through patience, positioning, and leverage. Let me give you a simple example. Two people enter a business. One launches immediately, hoping to go viral. The other studies the market for 6 months, builds relationships, automates his system, and waits. A year later, the first burns out, while the second scales quietly. Why? Because the second man understood that slow is smooth, and smooth becomes unstoppable. That's patience as a profit model. Now combine that with substitution. Instead of reacting emotionally to every problem, ask yourself, what can I replace here to make the problem irrelevant? Maybe it's replacing weak habits with strong systems, or replacing clients who drain you with ones who pay more for less work. That's how power compounds, by substituting what drains you with what sustains you. Let's take this deeper. Patience isn't just about waiting for opportunities. It's about creating conditions where opportunities have no choice but to appear. The quiet rich don't sit idle. They build environments that attract luck. That's why they always say the harder I work, the luckier I get. But what they really mean is the longer I stay consistent, the more the odds bend in my favor. Machiavelli would put it this way: control your pace and you control the battlefield. Most people rush to show progress because they fear judgment. They post results, announce moves, seek validation. But every time they do, they lose leverage. They expose their timeline. And once the world knows your timeline, it can manipulate you. Patience keeps you unpredictable, and unpredictability keeps you powerful. The system can only control what it can measure. When you move quietly, it can't measure you. That's why invisible wealth is the most dangerous kind, and man, it's beyond reach. Imagine building assets, skills, and influence for 5 years without telling anyone. Then one day you step forward not as someone trying to win, but as someone who already did.
That's how real power feels. Quiet, certain, untouchable. That's why the quiet rich never rush to prove themselves. They don't show off progress because progress shown too early invites sabotage. The truly wealthy reveal only the finished result. And by the time they do, no one can stop them. And this leads us to the next hidden rule. Timing your exposure, knowing when to appear and when to vanish. It's one of the most Machiavellian tactics of all. The art of visible invisibility, timing your exposure. This is where strategy turns into power. Most people either hide forever and miss opportunity, or they show too early and get crushed. The Machiavellian rich know the balance. Appear only when exposure multiplies your control, never when it threatens it. Think of it like chess. The king doesn't move until the board is secure. Every quiet rich man understands this. They reveal results, not efforts, because when you show effort, you invite doubt. When you show results, you command respect. There's a reason billionaires announce things after they've already won. When Jeff Bezos appeared in the spotlight, Amazon was already unstoppable. When Elon Musk started showing up everywhere, his systems were already running themselves. They didn't expose their climb, they revealed the peak. That's how you win without ever appearing weak. The problem with most people is they seek attention before they have power. They want followers, praise, validation. But attention without leverage is noise, and noise attracts competition. The quiet rich know how to let curiosity do the marketing. When you move in silence, people begin to wonder, what is he up to? That curiosity is influence. You didn't ask for attention, you created mystery. Machiavelli would say, never explain too much. Mystery inspires fear. Clarity invites attack. The moment you're predictable, people prepare for you. But when you're unreadable, they respect you. Or at least they hesitate to move against you. So here's the rule. Never appear until your position is irreversible. Once you reveal your moves, make sure no one can undo them. Look at history. Every powerful figure revealed themselves after they built a web too complex to undo.
Destroy empires, corporations, even influencers. They didn't go public until the foundation was unshakable. They understood that visibility must serve control, not ego. The quiet rich act like ghosts until they become gods. Now let's talk about transformation, the part where these hidden rules reshape you from an average earner into a strategic power. You start as someone chasing opportunities, you end as someone creating them. You begin thinking in transactions, you end thinking in systems. You stop saying, how do I make money, and start asking, how do I make others depend on me for theirs? That's the Machiavellian evolution. At first, it feels strange. You'll see people bragging, posting wins, showing off things you could never afford. Yet you'll remain silent, focused, invisible. But here's the beauty. While they chase recognition, you'll be building results. You'll look broke, but you'll be buying freedom. You'll seem average, but you'll be structuring an empire no one sees. And one day, when they ask how you did it, you'll just smile. Because by the time they notice, you'll already be out of reach. That's the transformation arc Machiavelli would admire, the art of power built in shadows. And along the way, remember this, the system is designed to distract you. It feeds you noise so you forget how to think. It wants you reacting, not calculating. But once you start applying these rules, silence, leverage, substitution, patience, timing, you step outside that trap. You become the observer, not the observed. That's when the game changes. Here's how it looks in practice. When others complain about the economy, you're studying its patterns. When others fear losing jobs, you're building systems that make jobs irrelevant. When others chase trends, you're creating the next one. And you do it all without anyone noticing, because while they're loud, you're efficient. It's quiet power, the kind that doesn't need validation, because it runs the validation machine. But there's one more layer, the elite level most never reach. Once you've mastered hidden wealth, your next mission is to protect it, because the higher you rise, the more eyes watch. Machiavelli said, a wise prince must learn how not to be good. He didn't mean evil. He meant strategic. To protect what you've built, you must detach from emotions that destroy the average man: guilt, fear, and pride. You must learn when to cut ties, when to disappear, and when to strike first. Protect your time like gold, because that's what wealth really is: control over your time. Protect your privacy, because once people understand how you move, they can trap you. And protect your strategy, because even one leak can collapse your advantage. That's why the quiet rich live simple on the outside and complex on the inside. They look calm, but their systems are layered with precision. Their wealth is coded in ownership, trusts, companies, and investments that move under the radar. They don't play by the rules, they design new ones. At this point, you don't just make money, you manufacture security. Every decision becomes tactical, every action intentional. You're no longer reacting to the world, you're writing its script. Now picture yourself 5 years from today. You've built assets quietly. You don't tell anyone what you're working on. No bragging, no noise, just consistent, patient effort. You've cut distractions, mastered leverage, and created systems that pay you even when you're asleep. People might underestimate you. They'll think you're average until they realize you control more than they ever imagined. That moment when the world finally sees the power you built in silence is when you'll understand what real wealth feels like. It's not about being seen, it's about being untouchable. That's how you get rich without anyone knowing. Now ask yourself, will you keep chasing attention like the masses, or will you build in silence and let the results speak for you? If you're ready to move like the quiet elite, patient, strategic, invisible, then this channel is where you belong. Subscribe and I'll show you more of Machiavelli's hidden rules, how the rich control empires from the shadows, how power operates behind closed doors, and how you can use it to escape the system built to keep you small. And if you like this video, you'll also want to watch Why They Control Money While You Chase It, Machiavelli's hidden rule. It reveals the next layer of this system, the dark truth about how money itself became a tool of control. Because once you understand that, you'll never look at wealth the same way. Remember, the goal isn't to be noticed. The goal is to be inevitable.